And that's the ball game. The end of the season for South Carolina. They're now 5-7. Clemson beats them 28-14 in Columbia. Clemson improves to 7-5 in a game that, yes, I picked Clemson to win, but I said I felt like it was going to be a really ugly game. It was actually not as ugly as I thought it was going to be, but congratulations to the Tigers winning against South Carolina in Columbia and improving on the season. There's a lot of mixed emotions with Clemson on this season, but hey, going down to Columbia, beating South Carolina, hey, you beat your rival. And so for the next 365-ish days, well, we don't have to worry about hearing how, hey, we beat you. So at least that's off the table on us Clemson fans, with all the annoyances and all the things that we're having to deal with right now and wondering about our team. We don't have to worry about hearing about that for the rest of the year, because that would just add insult to injury. But Clemson wins the game 28-14, and let's just be honest with ourselves. South Carolina's defense. I said this earlier this week. I said that South Carolina's defense, I called it in the preseason. You can go over to my other channel, by the way, another college football podcast. The link is below. It's my national channel where I talk about college football as a whole. In that link, you can go or on my channel, on the other channel, you can find where I previewed South Carolina right before the season started. And what I said was, you lost a lot of really good defensive players. So it's a compliment to the Gamecocks. And I said, look, those were really good players. You lost them. And so, while everyone's talking about Sellers and while everyone's talking about Dylan Stewart, they're both very good players. You just need to understand you lost a lot on defense. And of course, they came back with a bunch of illogical responses. Even this week, I had someone from the South Carolina camp tell me, hey, when you said our defense wasn't that good, you lost me there. Y'all's defense is not that good. I mean, at the half, Clemson already had 289 yards up on you. So, I mean, Clemson finishes the game with 415. South Carolina finished the game with 422 total yards. So, both defenses allowed a solid amount of yardage. They really did. Sellers threw for 381. Here's the key with Sellers. He threw 2 interceptions, and one of them was a pick six. Threw a pick six when they needed to score. And here's the thing that I noticed when he went to the sideline. When he went to the sideline after that pick six, I don't know Lenora Sellers. I'm not talking trash about Lenora Sellers. If some of his family sees it and so on, I know that they'll probably say something. I don't know what they'll respond with. Some people has different responses. But I would tell you this. I've seen people go to the sideline after throwing a pick six, which ended up solidifying the other team wins, and they look angry and upset. They look chill. South Carolina, that could mean one of two things. He's going to the NFL, or he's decided to go to another football team. Just throw that out there to you. He really didn't look that upset. I would have been semi-devastated had I thrown a pick six that ended up losing the game in the rivalry to my rival. He looked perfectly okay. Perfectly okay. But this game was really, really interesting. Credit Clemson with not allowing 1 point in the second half. Clemson gave up 222 yards in the second half and not 1 point. Their defense really stepped up. And I'm going to tell you what really, I was really irritated with the secondary, as any of us should be, right? Any of us should be upset with that. But in the second half, they didn't give up a point. But I want you to notice something. And I said this to Chase Henderson. Chase and Parker and I were all on a text thread together. I said, notice that Tom Allen used Sammy Brown as a spy on Sellers. And that last drive was almost hilarious. Every pass Sellers threw, Sammy Brown, a sophomore, he's the highest rated linebacker we've ever signed in the history of Clemson football, was batting the ball down like he was playing against a middle school team. And remember last year, Sammy Brown was the only one who could tackle Lenora Sellers. And for some reason, someone, somewhere decided to pull him off the field. What's done is done. But by the way, and I want to say this because I know that I'm going to get a lot of views on this video. For some of you people out there, you're in the Clemson camp and you go, hey, you need to trust the coaches. They know better than you. No, they don't. When you go and you pull a player like him last year, who was the only one who could tackle, and you pulled him off the field, he was the only one that could tackle. That proves right there, it doesn't matter if you have a whistle around your neck or not, or if you have an office down at the university or not. Just because you have that job does not mean that you know what you're doing. Some of you are literally like sheep. You can be led anywhere. No logic, no nothing. You can be led around by the nose. And the only person you're really mad at is a person who's going, hey, man, they're leading you around by your nose. Are you not paying attention? Hey, they know what they're doing. I'm just following. I'm glad this year we put Sammy Brown on him, and we saw what happened. We saw exactly what happened. And so, that offensive line for South Carolina was bad, but you and we have seen Clemson's defensive line play quite poor this year. We've seen them get blown off the line. We have seen them get shoved around at times. This game was not one of them, and that was truly the difference. That and the secondary stepping up in the second half going, hey, the guy that's 6'5" and has Olympic speed, don't let him run loose anymore. Now, Cade Klubnik is actually 2-1 against South Carolina. Remember in 22 when South Carolina came to Clemson and beat DJ, it was DJ who was the quarterback. You remember when Clemson was running the ball at will, we had Gamecocks going, hey, why did y'all stop running the ball against us? We couldn't stop y'all. I mean, what are y'all doing? I mean, thanks. We beat you. But yeah, Cade was not the quarterback then. That was DJ. 3 years ago, that was DJ. So Cade finishes out his career against South Carolina 2-1. And the announcer said he's never thrown a touchdown against South Carolina. It's very interesting to me. But he's 2-1 against the Gamecocks. I'm going to get in here and say hello to some people. And I'm going to make this really quick and get back to talking Clemson and South Carolina. Big John News. Hey, thanks for supporting the channel, my buddy. Appreciate it. You support on a monthly basis. I really, really do appreciate that. It means a lot to me. Who else? Let me see. Sorry about that. Got Omnius Break. We should rename Williams Bryce Death Valley South. Well, we got to be careful there because they've beat Clemson the last 2 times they've made a trip up to Clemson, 24 and 22. So, but I get what you're saying. The game was like 2 broken homes compete on the Family Feud. That is hilarious. Lee Harden comedy. That is hilarious. I hope you are a comedian. That's funny. That's brilliant. Let me see. John answers in here. Go Tigers. Bo Weevil. Go Tigers. Now we can say we are winners. LOL. Good to see you. Let's go Tigers. Rob Ellen. I bet Beamer coaches for Carolina forever. Let me see. Go Tigers. Most of the season is forgiven now. No, it's not. No, but I can at least take this win. Thanks, Sammy Brown. Yeah, Jacob Moore. Thanks, Sammy Brown. Tom Allen defense won us the game. Yes, except for the secondary in the first half, and that's what we've seen all season long. We've seen that, and I'll take the win, but it's kind of like Nick Saban, the best coach to ever coach college football in the modern era. He said, when you play bad and you win, that's hard to get out of your players' heads. Because Saban, the reason he won so much is because he demanded excellence even when they were up by 40 points. So And by the way, John answers, that's not my rebuttal to you. I get that from time to time. Some of these Clemson fans who has a loser mentality will wander over on my channel from some of these other forums and stuff to where they can say just whatever, and nobody pushes back on them, and they've given up on Clemson football. That Nick Saban, the reason he never had a season with 5 losses in while he was at Alabama after like his first season was because of this. But it was because he demanded excellence at all times, right down to the way the towel girl folded the towels. He demanded excellence nonstop. And that was a problem, but Tom Allen did correct it. And Tom Allen's defense brought a lot of pressure. I love Shane Beamer. Go Tigers. Tables have turned. Let's see. The Hassel sack. Let's go, Bobby. Good to see you. NKZYT. Let's go, chickens. Yeah, DL actually showed up. Yes, they did. So proud of my Tiger for going to Cootsville and getting a win. We only have to watch Cade play one more game. Ian, I understand what you're saying, but I hate to say it. I get what you're saying. Cade has missed wide open guys all year long. I get it, but I hate to say it. He's leaving, and that coaching staff that has not developed a ton of our players on both sides of the football, they're staying. And so everyone right now, the sacrificial lamb is Cade Klubnik. Everyone loves to pee on Cade Klubnik. You should be looking at the coaches under Dabo Swinney. That coaching staff, or when he talks about 6 consecutive playoffs, this coaching staff right here had nothing to do with that. Nothing to do with it. That's why the football team lost 5 games this year. It's the reason they lost 4 games last year. The year before that, they lost 4 games. The year before that, they lost 3 games. The year before that, they lost 3 games. So everyone can laugh at Cade, but this coaching staff is going to pretty much stay intact. We're going to figure out it wasn't Cade. I enjoy your channel. No foul language. That means a lot to me. Hey, I get it. Tiger Red Devil Brian is probably really, really upset that Clemson won. Hey, the only thing I'll say about this is if Dabo is not going to make the changes on the coaching staff that allotted him 5 losses this year and wasting the talent on this on this roster, any real Clemson fan should really be upset. Good to see you, Tiger Red Devil. Sellers just prove you can be elite, but you have no chance when you're running for your life. He has been running for his life all year long. Their offensive line is – that's the thing about South Carolina. And I can say this about Clemson too. I don't know what it is with people being obsessed with getting a really good quarterback and you don't get an offensive line to block for them. Yeah, it's just very interesting to me. JT Brown, a member here. It's good to see you, my man. You've been a member for 26 months. Good grief. Go Tigers. We needed this win. Come on, Durkins. Make a video. That's hilarious. That is hilarious. Klubnik is a nice guy, but not what we need to take that extra step. Again, a lot of people's going to be upset when Klubnik's gone and the same results are still here. It's going to be like, yeah, those guys on the sideline who never lose eligibility and they're signed to a contract to coach your team. Yeah, they're the ones who got you 5 losses this year. And you and I don't have to agree on Klubnik. I agree with you that Klubnik has missed a lot of passes this year. He did, but busted coverages, play calling that seemed like 4 different individuals were the one that was calling the plays, lack of development on the offense and the defense, that's going nowhere. Klubnik just gets crapped on and everybody feels good at taking shots at him. And I'm going to tell you right now, the ones who's really in charge, they're the ones who are staying. Hey, B, what a pick 6. That was a really nice pick 6. This sums up how I feel. Got a lot of problems to fix and a lot of them, but happy to win. Yeah, absolutely. I agree. I agree with you there. That's how I truly feel right there. We have a lot. I'm glad Clemson beat South Carolina. The only way I'm not going to be glad is if Dabo walks up to a microphone and go, "But I've assessed this coaching staff and I feel confident in them." That would be the only bad thing that could come out of winning today. If that happens, look forward to losing another 5 ball games next year. Especially if Lane Kiffin decides to go to LSU, he'll drop 60 on you. There'll be no amount of yeah. Oh man, we run this state, Sports Kid. It's good to see you. Both programs free falling. Good to see you. Tiger in the Burrow. Let's go. JT Brown, we needed this win. Go Tigers. Now we need the changes we hope will happen during the offseason. Thanks for supporting the channel on a monthly basis and the super chats. Good to see you, my friend. Let me see. Man, TJ Moore has done very well. Randall did very well. Randall rushed for 102 yards. He's averaging about 5 yards, about 4 yards per carry. Yeah, 4.5 yards per carry. Did very well. Bunch of people in here. It's good to see you. Appreciate you being in here. Jaden 1 said we contain sellers. Absolutely. A bunch of thoughts in here about, talking about who's who in here. I have someone in here that does not like the way that I say things. That's totally fine. That's okay. That is totally fine. I know that yeah. Everyone else likes it. So there we go. All right. So let's talk about some stats here. Of course, as I said, Clemson 28-14, not allowing a point by the Gamecocks in the second half. Clemson had the ball 38 minutes, 44 seconds. South Carolina's 21 minutes and 16 seconds. South Carolina actually had more yards than Clemson, 422 total yards. Of that, 381 in the air, 41 on the ground. At one time, I think they had -8 yards passing. Clemson had 415 yards total, 268 in the air, 147 on the ground. Clemson had 25 first downs, South Carolina 17. Clemson was 7 of 17 on third down. South Carolina was 1 of 11. That's crazy. If we go and we take a look at penalties, Clemson had 7 penalties for 45 yards. South Carolina had 5 penalties for 54 yards. Clemson had 1 turnover. South Carolina had 4, 2 in the air, 2 on the ground. Cade Klubnik finishes up the game with 268, 1 interception. He was 24 of 39. Take a look at Adam Randall again, 24 carries, 102 yards, 1 touchdown. TJ Moore, 101 yards off of 6 receptions. It's good to see him come on this year. That puts him, I think that puts him well over 700 yards for this year. Does it? I think it's 653. Yeah, 653. So, yeah, there's 653 yards for him. And I really, really like it. I mean, let me see. I just read a crazy comment and I'm laughing. Yeah, TJ Moore, it's nice to see him get going. Folks, TJ Parker today had 3 sacks. 3 sacks, TJ Parker. And coming into this game, he had 2 sacks all season. Today he had 3. So he's going to finish the season regular season with 5 sacks. And I go back, I'm pretty sure that 101 yards actually puts Parker over 750 yards total. I think those stats need to be updated that I'm looking at on ESPN. But yeah, TJ Parker, a lot of people was expecting more numbers like this from him throughout the year. He had 2 sacks coming into this game. He walks out with 3 sacks in this game alone. Let's go take a look at someone else who we should all be thanking God for, and that is Sammy Brown. Sammy Brown came into this game as, I believe, the leading tackler. He comes into this game. He has 9 tackles. He was knocking the ball down like a volleyball player playing against Sellers. Again, had last year. We had someone, and there's a whole coaching staff that was standing on the sideline. Everybody wants to make fun of Wes and call him names and talk about how he was the death of Clemson and everything. Again, he has a whole coaching staff standing on the sidelines. That's a defensive coaching staff and a head coach who's watching what's happening, who could have interceded and said, hey, Sammy Brown's the only guy who can tackle Linares Sellers. Let's put him back out there. And the next person who wants to pull him is fired. Yeah. That's right. That's what should have happened. And it didn't happen. I'm very happy that it did. Nick Saban tells a story, and I'm a big Nick Saban fan. The guy had longevity. The guy kept winning and winning. He won a championship. He won 2 national championships. He won 3 national championships. He won 4. It never became enough for him. And he went out there and he continued to win, and he continued to do what he did. But he said this one day that when he was playing football back in, I want to say, in high school, his high school coach told him, said, listen, you're playing quarterback. I'm going to need you to make the decision of where the ball goes to. And he was like, or call the play. And he's like, how do I do that? He said, always get the ball to your playmaker, right? You have an all-state wide receiver over here, and you have an all-conference tight end. Get the ball to that player, right? You always get the ball to your best players. That's the key. You don't take your best players off the field. So it is good to see that Sammy Brown was on the field this year versus last year being pulled away. And it just once again reemphasizes that just because someone is on staff does not mean that they're always making the right calls. And so there we go. Glad to see the right call was made. Tom Allen's defense done pretty doggone well today. Bend but not break. They gave up a lot of yardage, but in the second half did not give up 1 point. 1 point. Very good. Let me see. Big John news Christmas beer money. Good to see you, Big John. He's a supporter on a monthly basis and a super chat. Thank you so much. I appreciate it, Big John. And Merry Thanksgiving, Christmas to you. Good to see you. Intelligent Savage in here saying fire. I love it. Parker was big time today about Tom. There are a lot of people in here. Gamecock fan Jim Way, congrats to the Tigers. As a Gamecock fan, congrats. I hope I read tomorrow Beamer is gone. It's good to see you, Jim Way. I'm a Clemson fan, but I'll tell you this: I don't know if you really mean that. I know you're irritated right now with how the season is gone, but I mean, look at the coaching carousel right now, and you got to ask yourself, would the next guy come in and change things? I don't know. But Thomas asked, who's going to be the quarterback next year? Christopher Vizina. We'll see. Chris Vizina will be the starting quarterback next year. Yeah, he will be the starting quarterback next year. All right, folks. Let's talk about the rest of the season for Clemson. Okay, we know they're 7-5. They're on a 4-game win streak right now. I think it's a 4-game win streak. And the season's not turned out how we want it. And there are much needed changes that needs to be made in the coaching staff. You can be happy right now and still live in reality. If there's changes that will be made, it's probably going to be made after whatever bowl game Clemson ends up going to. I don't know what that bowl game would be. I read some things this week I read an article this week that threw out some scenarios, everyone from playing Army to playing Arizona. By the way, Arizona won last night. They're 9-3. I don't know, but you can be thankful that your team won today and still step back and go, I don't want us to be a 5-loss team again, right? You're not going to win the national championship every year, right? We know that. We get that. 5 losses at Clemson with this schedule and with this roster? No. No. Nice excuse. I would just stop using poor excuses, right? So you can say whatever you want to. You can type whatever you want to. 5 losses. That should have never happened this year. I did not guarantee a national championship. While Paul Feinbaum was saying you should win a national championship, what did I say? I said, hold on, they're going to have to show me some stuff, but they have the roster to have a special season. And so I was pumping the brakes there, but 5 losses should have never happened. So I'm just hoping that today Clemson, namely Dabo Swinney, can step back and say, you know what? I'm glad I won 4 consecutive games. I'm glad that we won those 4 games. I'm glad we beat our rival. I'm glad we didn't get stomped by Louisville. Louisville went and played their rival, Kentucky, and they beat the color out of their jerseys today. I mean, massacred them. And so with that said, Louisville, after getting stomped last week by SMU, they came out and destroyed their rival. Destroyed them. It wasn't even close. And so with that said, Clemson could have ended up, I mean, they only won that game by 1 point, but look, they won these last 4 games. What I'm hoping to see out of Clemson, South Carolina, I'm hoping that Coach Swinney steps back and says, losing 3 games 2 years in a row, losing 4 games 2 years in a row, and now 5. I want my legacy to be intact. I don't want it to be tarnished. I don't want to go out as someone who was always living off of 16 and 18 and 6 consecutive playoff appearances. I'm hoping that he'll step back and say, you know what? I do have a lot of football in me, and I want it to be quality football. And so while I'm glad we won these last 4 games, we're going to have to Swinney will have to say to himself that I have to make massive changes on my team across the board at the position level. And that's probably going to be some very tough conversations that are very hurtful, because on the other side of this, if he does not, and let me finish that. You can't go out and hire anyone. You have to hire the right people. So making change to make change, that's firing someone and then hiring someone different. No, you have to make the right hire. And if you can pull Matt Luke out of semi-retirement and you can get Tom Allen to leave Penn State, your phone call still has weight. Your phone call still will pull coaches into Clemson, South Carolina. Do it while it still has some weight behind it. So you just can't fire them and hire anyone else. Make the changes, bring in the right people. On the flip side, if you don't make those proper changes, get used to 4 and 5 loss seasons. Clemson. Let me know your thoughts about this game. Drop it in here in the comments section. I'm glad that y'all are here. It's just crazy. It's just absolutely crazy to see how this game went. I felt like on that very last drive where Lenoris threw that pick 6, I was like, here we are. We're up by 6. They're going to go down, score a touchdown, hit the PAT, and beat us by 1 point. And I just felt it. And then pick 6, driving the ball to Nick Harbor. And thankfully, Clemson was playing tight defense on him. The ball got tipped. And to have that ball ran back for a touchdown was just really, really awesome. So anyway, congrats to the Tigers. Congrats to the fan base. And so to everybody, I just want to tell you this. Hey, if you haven't subscribed, I hope you will. I'm independent, meaning there's no strings attached to me. There's no strings attached to me. I pretty much get to come and go as I'd like, as I want. So what does that mean? That means I'm the CEO, the janitor, the director, and the secretary, the administrative assistant for this whole shoot and shebang. So if you like that sort of thing, I hope you'll support it by hitting subscribe. Subscribing is free. If you want to join on a monthly basis, there's a little button right below this video that you can click on. It says join, and I've made it very affordable. A lot of people started joining. I was shocked. I looked at my numbers the other day. I was like, whoa. And then last but not least, next Wednesday, I believe it is, I have some big news coming out about a partnership that I have with someone, and I wanted to talk about it today, but they asked me to wait till Wednesday, and so I'm going to do that. But I have big news coming up this Wednesday. So if you are someone who's been watching me for a while, you will want to check out next Wednesday. I hope you'll be here because I will be dropping some pretty solid news, and I'm really happy about this. Folks, y'all take care of yourself. Go watch more football. Spend time with your family. Have a nice, relaxed evening. Hopefully, you make it to church tomorrow morning. Y'all take care. The Tigers win. They win the Palmetto Bowl. It's Palmetto Bowl. Say it like a redneck, and then you'll get it right. Go Tigers.